Hey, yes, you.
Me.
Got your groove on?
Groove. Oh, yeah.
The critics do.
Really? Yep.
They're calling The Emperor's New Groove one of the funniest films of the year.
Is that my voice?
It's hip, sassy, and hilarious.
Trot out the ladies.
Very smart, very funny.
That rocks.
And it gets 2 thumbs up for those in need of thumbs. The Emperor's New Groove.
Groove. Boom, baby.
Rated G. Now grooving in theaters everywhere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cinemarcade. This is the podcast about movies, video games, and the sparks that fly when those worlds collide. I am your host, the scary beyond all reason, Steve Gunley. This episode is
Wait a
all
second,
about...
why are you scary beyond all reason?
Look at me. I'm wildly intimidating. I'm 8 feet tall.
Halloween was 2 weeks ago.
I have knives for arms.
You have knives for arms?
Clearly, yes. This is an audio medium.
This is an
They don't
audio
know.
medium.
They
You
can't
don't
prove
have
that I-
danger in your voice, like
Like Yzma?
yeah. Like
Well, okay, well, demonstrate danger in one's voice.
I've got knives for arms.
Okay, see, I believe you have knives for arms. And the ironic part is I really do, and you don't, and so that's crazy. We're talking this week about The Emperor's New Groove from the year 2000. I'm Steve, as I mentioned. Who is here with me as always?
J-Ban?
Yeah, welcome. And we are joined by a very special guest this week. And not just because Justin slept in and missed this one. No, you were going to be here regardless. And we're very excited to have you. Amazing local actor, improviser, medical professional, basically like wrecking the curve for all of us. Ananya Roy is here. Hello.
Hello. You didn't
Welcome.
need to add all that, my whole resume on there.
Well, and now you're adding a podcaster onto the resume. It's expanding
true.
sketch, improv, all of that stuff. Very funny, very talented person. We're excited to have you here. And it's not just to kiss your butt.
Excited to be here. Well, that's why I chose to do it.
Well, obviously. Now, this was, I gave you the list of movies that we were talking about, and I said, hey, do you want to guest on any of these? You chose The Emperor's New Groove.
I did.
And I was curious as to why. Was this a big movie for you growing up, or is this
Yes.
one?
I loved this movie growing up and still do. I feel like it holds its value even as an adult person.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, it was the one I instantly recognized on the large list you gave me.
Yeah, we still have so many to do. Are you excited about that? We
Yeah.
have so many to do. It's great. I'm excited
It's called
about it.
non-job security.
Exactly. Yes. We are. If we ever lose our jobs, we have something to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I instantly picked this movie, resonated with it, and I had no idea that there was an accompanying video game associated with it either.
We're kind of entering that era when it's like not a stone cold guarantee that a game is going to be made, right? For most of the games or the movies we're talking about in the 90s, like if it was released with like a medium high budget or it was animated, it's definitely getting a game adaptation. That's kind of starting to slow down by the year 2000. Like, it's not gone. We have a couple years left on there when they're still doing it, but it's not totally gone.
I thought
yet.
you meant now.
Oh, now?
I was
Like, 2025,
oh,
they're basically done.
We're
Yeah.
now entering the era that there's no games.
Oh,
I
no,
see,
no.
2000, yes.
Yeah, 2025, it's pretty much a dead genre, but every once in a while we'll get one that pops up. I was excited to talk about this. I think this is a
we're not
really
done.
fun movie.
Not done.
No,
How
we're not.
old were you when you first watched this movie?
Oh, that's a good question. How old was I? Well, it came out in 2000.
Yeah.
I was 2 years old in 2000.
I hate that. I'm turning to dust as we speak. My knife arms are falling away and blowing away in the wind.
No, I'm glad to see you're still kicking. And
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Your oxygen tank looks good.
I put flames on it, so it looks cool. Makes me look fast.
flammable, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's technically it's flammable, but yeah, whatever.
I don't know, maybe like I feel like maybe like 5.
Okay.
Who knows?
All right.
Do you all remember the age you were?
I fully saw this as an adult. Like, I missed this. Like, I was probably honestly in my 30s before I caught back up with this, because I was just kind of like right at the age where, like, I think J-Ben, you and I are about the same age. We would have been like high school when this came out. And you're already kind of like you're at the exact right age. You're like, oh, I'm too fucking cool to go see a Disney movie. So,
I don't know, because when we talk with Monsters Inc., I was very excited to watch Monsters Inc. as a teenager, but like Emperor's New Groove, like I think I watched it at the same time, and it didn't feel magical to me, and I think you've got some teen angst. To be like, but that's not fair, because I did love Monsters Inc. as a teen.
But yeah, and I was the same, but I feel like Pixar felt like a little different. This feels like old school, like Disney animation. This one seems like a very broad, silly comedy, which it is. And it didn't feel like it was, like Monsters Inc. is kind of pushing technical boundaries, so you can rationalize it. You're like, no, I'm not a teenager going to a Disney movie. I am a cinephile looking at the next wave.
I think you're
of animation.
overthinking teenage J-Ban. Like, I think
I'm talking about teenage me. Yeah,
I watched pretty much everything, but I was just like different things. Well, it's funny we talk about Monsters Inc. It's another John Goodman film, and so this one is John Goodman in the in another role as a large person, a large tall man who's sort of teaching life lessons.
A patient figure.
So did you have Emperor's New Groove toys as a kid? Did you completely buy into it, or was it more of like a lesser artifact of your childhood?
I don't think I had any like memorabilia from it, but I feel like I did adopt a lot of the vocabulary and like the stylistic elements of the humor.
Did you become an asshole?
I don't know if I became one. Maybe I was born that.
Yeah. You imply that like there was some evolution or something that happened. No, it's just
static.
Wombed tomb, a-hole. That's why that's your nickname. People think it's because of your first initial.
I'm surprised you didn't put that in the intro of me.
I know. I should have. Professional a-hole. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine parents being very sick of this movie because the main character is a wise ass, like kind of punk kid, and if you're running around the house imitating the wise ass punk kid, you're just a wise ass punk kid.
Which character did you resonate the most with?
I feel like I really liked Yzma.
Yeah.
Okay.
A diva.
Yeah. I can see it.
She's valid in a lot of ways.
Yzma's a great villain, and we'll be getting into her, I think. But yeah,
that sounded weird.
No, not like
dissecting.
We'll be really hyper analyzing this. Let's talk a little bit about this movie because it has kind of a fascinating history.
It's a sad, fascinating history.
It is a sad, fascinating history.
Why is it sad?
Well, so The Emperor's New Groove, which incidentally was released December 15th, 2000. It's directed by Mark Dindal. It's written by Dindal and Chris Williams, and it stars David Spade, John Goodman, Patrick Warburton, Wendy Malick, and Eartha Kitt. And that's almost it, except for a couple of supporting characters. Now, this is a silly featherlight comedy, and it is not one that you would necessarily peg as troubled, quote unquote. But in fact, this was one of Disney's most fraught, most difficult, most expensive productions of all time. The movie that we ended up with was very, very, very different from what it set out to make, and getting it from the screen from the page of the screen was a source of a lot of animosity and a pretty huge financial loss. So to begin with, this movie was never intended to be a comedy. This was going to be a musical romance a la like Beauty and the Beast. Pretty much all of Disney's 90s movies were these big Broadway-style musicals. This was going to be one of those. The original pitch was for a film called Kingdom of the Sun, which was going to be a serious adventure epic based on the novel The Prisoner of Zenda and set in the ancient Incan kingdom. Now, Roger Allers, he was one of the co-directors of The Lion King, and Mark Dindal, who was a longtime Disney animator, they were going to direct it together, and they envisioned this as kind of this big, a sweeping musical that was going to take place in this world that people hadn't really seen before. Now, some of the elements that we know did remain in place. Strangely, David Spade was always going to be playing this lead role. which I'm going to get into David Spade, but I just still think it's
While
wild.
it was a musical?
While it was a musical set in Peru, they were going to cast as the Peruvian lead the diminutive Irish comedian David Spade, and that was always a part of it. Eartha Kitt was always also a part of it, playing Yzma, which I have less of a problem with. But the original would have followed more of like a Prince and the Pauper style plot. The Emperor swaps places with one of his subjects, who was at that time going to be voiced by Owen Wilson. And they were going to, just basically he was going to shirk his responsibilities. And the llama transformation was also still planned, but the film was going to have a much more romantic beat. It was going to follow in the tradition of like more serious movies like The Lion King and things like that. And as such, they brought in a big name in the pop world at this time to write the score, and that was a guy named Sting, which I still just love that he'd named himself Sting, and everybody just went with it. Like, by the way, my name is Sting. You all have to call me that forever. However, production ran into some serious problems, and after 4 years of development, the film was looking likely to miss its 2000 release window completely. Disney was very unhappy with how convoluted the plot was. They asked them to pare it way down. The two directors didn't really agree on the vision of the film, and Disney eventually decided that they would have to kind of do basically like a bake-off. Like, they split up the directors, and they said, you take some animators, you take some animators, you make a short film, you make a short film, we'll pick what movie we're going to go with based off of this. They wound up going with Mark Dindal's version, which was much lighter, much sillier, and the other director decided to walk away from the project. Now, the film is now 25% animated at a cost of about $30 million, and they had less than 2 years to completely overhaul and finish the script, completely change the visual style of it, and basically get rid of all the songs. And they had to get this done because they were looking at forfeiting like a big cross-promotion with McDonald's and with Coca-Cola. They were going to lose a lot of money on this. So they decided to throw everything out except for the ink and setting and the characters of Kuzco and Yzma, and they started fresh from there. Fun fact I learned, David Spade's character in this originally was called Manko, but they decided to change it because apparently that word is very similar to the Japanese word for female genitalia. So I think they wanted to get ahead of that one. Probably a good call. Now, the intention was still for the film to be a musical, but the multiple delays were starting to infringe on Sting's touring schedule. He kept working on the project, but eventually he was told that the musical element was being dropped entirely, which, after 6 years of writing music for this movie, that all just got thrown out. I'm sorry, but that had to sting. I'm pausing for a loud
Did you
applause
plan
break.
that?
I'm pausing for a loud applause
Is that
break.
written in the script?
That is written in there. Yeah, I wrote it down. You guys can applaud now anytime. I'm just going to wait. I'm editing it in anyway.
I think
like,
it was
you're
Justin
cheering,
who was supposed to.
They're screaming.
happen.
Anyway,
He's not here.
either way, the singer was actually pretty pissed off. As a consolation, 3 of his songs were included on the soundtrack album, and they do give him the final song in the movie, which is a weird little preview, because if you watch the end credits, the song that plays in that is so different from the vibe of the rest of the movie. It's like very kind of quiet and contemplative and serious, and that's not what the movie is. But they offered to let him sing the opening of this film. He declined, and the song was instead performed by Tom Jones, another guy the kids just love. The kids go crazy for Tom Jones. So Sting kind of got the shaft here, but he did get to exert his influence over one crucial element. The film was originally going to end with Kuzco building his amusement park by destroying a chunk of the rainforest, but Sting was like a big save the rainforest guy, and he said he was going to leave the project entirely unless they changed it. So we got the much nicer, smaller ending that didn't require them to destroy anything. Now, the original film was going to be deeply rooted in Incan mythology, and all of those elements had to be dropped. And so while this clearly still takes place in some kind of fantasy version of South America, it has 0 Latino voice actors. And really, you can kind of with this approach, you can kind of swap it out for any mythical culture. You could have made up an entirely new universe, and it would make as much sense. Owen Wilson was dropped, and the character was rewritten to be older, sturdier, and played by John Goodman. And a new character was created, a dunder-headed minion named Kronk. He was created for the film to be voiced by Seinfeld alum Patrick Warburton, one of the great voice actors. Kronk was really kind of the character that took off of this thing. Were you a Kronk head?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
But I know he had his own spin-off, and
Yeah.
There was also the TV show, which I think I did watch.
Right.
I did watch as
This
a
was
kid.
The Emperor's New School. Is that what it's called? Okay. And it
Yep.
was him in high school. And yeah, I never saw any of it.
I never saw any of that, but I love Kronk.
Oh,
like,
Kronk's
I
great.
feel like Kronk steals the movie in a lot of ways.
He really does.
He's very endearing. Yeah.
It makes sense that the direct-to-video sequel is just called Kronk's New Groove, and
Yeah.
it's like following up
I
on that
understand
character.
it.
I get it. All of this production chaos led to this relatively modest-looking little movie having a production budget of more than $100 million. So the film needed to be a pretty big hit to even break even. And when it finally came out in 2000, it was a modest box office success. It did okay. It would become a huge DVD movie, and it would become very, very influential for younger audiences who grew up watching this 100,000 times. And somehow it just kind of like all worked out. But it's fascinating to think like this movie almost like tore Disney apart for a little while. This was like such this huge drama, and what we get is something so featherlight and silly and just kind of endearing. It's like 80 minutes long. It just like kind of goes by like nothing, and it's you can kind of tell where the budget cuts are coming in. This is very spare. There are like 5 characters in this movie. Like the backgrounds are all pretty still, like it's all pretty empty and pretty quiet for the most part, and a lot of the movie is done in like close-ups, right? So we're not even animating all that much.
In the middle is a little repetitive. You're like, oh, I'm going to betray you, and then I'm going to not betray you. I'm going to betray you, and then not betray you, and then I guess we're friends now.
Right. Yeah. They have to go through that whole arc like a couple of times. I actually kind of really liked that they had to go through that a few times because Disney rarely commits to making their asshole characters this unlikable for this long. Mm-hmm. Part of this is just David Spade. Now, David Spade is a real, like, your mileage may vary kind of guy. But I think it's kind of an indicator of how long this thing was in production that, like, when they started making this movie, David Spade was still doing movies with Chris Farley, and they were like this big comedy duo. And by the time this movie came out, Farley had been dead for 3 years. David Spade's career was kind of like in this weird in-between zone. They weren't sure if he like worked without Chris Farley, and also his whole shtick is just very, very rooted in the 90s for me. The whole like smarmy, weaselly little guy who's like cutting you down. He's like low status, high status kind of guy.
So there are things I definitely like about this movie. I think the thing I dislike the most is like, and what's hard because like I do like unlikable characters.
Yeah.
I feel like the Emperor is so unlikable without being charming, and I don't know whether or not it's me being like a little anti David Spade. Because I'm just like I don't remember the first time I watched it being as annoyed with the Emperor character as I was this time. I kind of wanted him to either be bigger, to be even more of an asshole, or to be more charming at the current level of assholery.
Yeah, and that's why it's unique. It's like he, in a different Disney movie, he would have kind of had his coming around moment like much sooner, you know? And I feel like it really does take him a while to substantially change and stop being a
regular
selfish prick.
Disney movie, he'd come around earlier, and then the second act would be him falling in love with someone.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the fact that you were saying the original intent was to make it this sweeping romance, and the fact that that's completely absent in the version that we end up seeing, that's the part that I really enjoy, that makes it so distinct, is that lack of that pushing narrative of a romantic connection, and it's really that platonic connection between Cusco and Pacha that's so satisfying in a different way.
It becomes it's a buddy comedy. It becomes like a road movie between these two mismatched guys. And at this point in Disney history, the romantic musical had kind of been beaten to death. So I think when this movie came out, people sort of dismissed it as being like small or frivolous or like not really on that par. But I don't know. There is something kind of refreshing about it. This is coming right off of Tarzan. That's the one right before this. Tarzan, it's a good movie, but it's also very serious. It's kind of violent. It's like kind of weirdly sexy, and it's really trying to push technology forward, right? It's like blending CGI and like all these surfer moves that he's doing. We'll talk about that movie eventually, but this one feels so lo-fi and so low stakes by comparison. It's just like a confection, and
there's an absence of overt childhood trauma.
Right. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I really like the style of it. Like, I recall so vividly that scene where they're painting over like the motif of, you know, Cusco's empire and replacing it with Yzma. And I don't know, I like the geometric elements of the design and kind of the flatness of it. I don't know, it's really striking to me.
And it's weirdly like they've got some really cool textures and really cool designs, but it's kind of minimalist for like a Disney movie in a way. And I mean this as a compliment. It kind of reminds me of like a direct-to-video movie that got like kind of jumped up. It's like it's kind of like what happened with a Goofy movie or Toy Story 2.
And I
They're
feel like
yeah.
the reason probably why I like it less than say Hercules or a lot of other movies is like I definitely like it feels like there should be musical numbers in this, and I'm like, wow, where's my fucking music? And like I need I'm a little bit of a Broadway baby.
That's what they call you. Old Broadway baby with the knifey hands. Yeah. She's the aces. Watch her tap. Come on, fellas, pay your nickel.
So I find that like I feel like the setup is open and big, and I just like but there are a lot of things I like about this movie. So I love Pancha. Like I love John Goodman is so good. And he's just like, he's so patient and kind, and he's just such a good person. He's such a good foil for Cusco. And he's got like this established family that is like a nice, kind family. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, he's like a good guy being good.
Yeah.
And being a good leader. And, you know, and I just, who's a really great foil for Cusco. But Yzma and Kronk, it's just like, I understand why they kept making fun of her for being old, but like it's just like honestly they could have like had 2 less jokes about her being old. Like it's just like I do like the fact that she's like it's heavily insinuated that like Kronk is like so Kronk's in his late 20s.
I love that scene.
I mean,
love them making small talk.
when was the last time? Was Ursula the last female Disney villain that we'd had at this point? It's because it's it's Jafar, it's Gaston, it's Scar, it's Hades, it's the guy from Hunchback, it's the guy from Mulan. Yeah, I think this is the first like female, and I was thinking a lot about Ursula because just like Ursula, this is a drag performance, and that's what makes it so fun. Like I think Yzma is such like an over the top like drag character, and having Eartha Kitt play her is a lot of fun. Hang on, baby girl. Having Eartha Kitt play her is a lot of fun.
He's talking to the dog.
Yes. Oh yeah. To be clear, the dog is ringing the bell.
Thank you for clarifying.
I am not sexually harassing the 2 women on my show right now. Thank you. That is, I do appreciate you clarifying that. See, now that's
his
A-list is
fiancé.
harassing. Yeah, A-list is harassing. But yeah, Eartha Kitt, and I think for those who aren't familiar with who she was a model and a singer back in the 60s. She was one of the original women to play Catwoman on
She's
the Batman
a star.
TV show.
She's so iconic.
Oh, she's a badass. Yeah, just like you can look up like quotes of hers, like interview moments with her. Like she was wild.
And she has like one of the best like idiolects in the world. Like it's so
What's
brilliant.
an idiolect?
That's a way you talk personally, like
Oh.
a dialect, but only for each individual person.
Oh, I didn't know that word. I guess that's kind of so like Christopher Walken has like an idiolect. He
Yep.
doesn't have a dialect. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that word. Cool. I like learning stuff.
Yeah, no, her as a villain is so intriguing, and just her drive to, you know, and she's a victim of this man's arrogance and him letting her go.
Yeah.
And that's so compelling.
And it's a fun way to like, yes, she's villainous and she's campy and she's being big, but we're also like kind of on her side because this guy was a prick. All of the learning and growing he does is outside of her sight, so she doesn't know that he's like getting better and learning and changing. And the fact that Kronk, who is just like a large child, is so like endearingly kind of like loyal to her also makes her more fun. So she isn't like one of the hardcore scary Disney villains or anything. She's not trying to kill anybody. She's
Well, yeah, she's trying to kill
She is
people.
I guess
she's
she
trying to
is.
murder
kill him,
people.
yeah.
but in a fun way.
She was trying
you know.
to poison him.
But she's trying to
Yeah.
murder a bad leader, which is that wrong?
Yeah, you know.
Maybe. Technically, it is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But technically.
Technically, yes, yeah. But no, it does make her a fun one to kind of root for and a fun character to kind of watch alongside. And we do have kind of two very distinct movies going on here. Like the A plot is the Cusco and Pacha thing, and then the B plot is the Kronk and
Well,
Yzma
it's
sort of
just like
chasing.
when Kronk and Yzma are on stage together, or I don't know, on screen together. They're so compelling. Like they have such great banter,
Yes.
and they have the frustration she gets with Kronk, but at the same time, Kronk is like it just bounces off of him, and like in this sort of glorious himbo way,
Very
and it's
much
just
so.
like
the original him.
yeah, and it's just like it's so charming.
Patrick Warburton is just one of my favorite voice actors. He's one of those guys. Talking of idiolects, he's one of one. Like nobody sounds exactly like him, and so he's a great voice actor, despite the fact that he only does the one voice.
Tick was one of my favorite things.
The Tick was great. Brock Sampson from Venture Brothers is one of my favorite characters. Like, and he plays this so guilelessly. He's so I love a confident idiot in a movie, like especially when he's like genuinely like a harmless or like a sweet guy. And Kronk kind of threads that needle, so it's a good addition, and I enjoyed that like a lot more this time. Yeah, like I said, this wasn't one that I grew up with, but I've watched it a few times now, and I'm like, you know what, I have fun with this every single time.
Yeah, and the way that Yzma and Kronk feed off and are foils for one another, the way Cusco and Pancha are, doing
Yeah.
that same dance, and that's such a fun dynamic to play off of.
And yeah, they have, in both cases, they have kind of like a family dynamic where it's like especially in the Yzma Kronk thing, like you don't really understand where the threads of that relationship came from, but she fully accepts who he is. She doesn't like who he is, but she's never like gonna dispose of him or whatever because he's very loyal and he's like a good person. But like, yeah, it's a fun dynamic, and I think that's something that would have been negated if this were a heavier, like sadder, like musical movie. I feel like these guys would have been pushed to the side in a bigger way.
So if this was a musical, we would have had Eartha Kitt singing. So crime.
That is a big thing. Yeah, we have this
if
noted
you-
singer in this big role, and she does not sing once.
One, she's a fantastic singer, and
Yeah.
two, like if you want some great Christmas music, check out her Christmas album.
Oh yeah. She does a Santa Baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a great
But
Santa Baby.
she's got whole albums.
Yeah.
I love offbeat Christmas music.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. My buddy puts together like a compilation album of the weirdest Christmas music he can find every year, and it's always incredible.
I like funk and soul Christmas music.
Oh my God, Nipsey
like
Russell did a Christmas album.
Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Oh yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Is this past Thanksgiving? Is it acceptable Christmas talk time when this airs?
Yes, this will be the last episode of November, so we are past Thanksgiving.
nice.
So
Deep in the holidays.
how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Yeah, was it good? I died. Choked on a wishbone.
Oh,
Yeah.
You don't eat the wishbone area.
Well,
of
I
the
know that
turkey.
now. I know that now. Thank you. Where were you on November 24th? When is Thanksgiving this year?
it's later. I think it's like the 28th.
That's one of those floating holidays that I always like forget, which sucks because like my mom's birthday is on Thanksgiving some years, and I don't always remember which day it is. So I'm sorry, Mom. I apologize.
Last Thursday.
It's in that corridor.
Well, I guess, yeah, her birthday wouldn't always be on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's the thing. It shifts around, you know. I'm here for the turkey. I'm here for the turkey every time. No.
You're not here for Black Friday,
No.
the largest commercial
Oh, God.
capitalistic holiday we have.
As somebody who struggles with anxiety, like alone in a room, the thought of putting me in a room full of, in a store full of angry, bargain shopping, like crazy people, yeah.
That's the Black Friday of the past. Now it's online.
Oh,
for
okay.
like 4 days in a row.
Now we're just crashing servers and like
Yeah.
using up a lake's worth of water every 15 minutes or something. Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. Well, Well, that's another theme of the movie, the environmentalism piece.
Good segue.
Yeah.
nicely done.
Where you can root for this cause of this, like, you know, village and this civilization trying to maintain their, you know, idyllic thing free of the commercialization and, you know, the frivolousness of this emperor and his, which is runs true and parallel to today.
And it's about
how political is this podcast?
There you go. It's about gentrification a little bit. You know, he wants to pave over the village so he can build like a excessive, like stupid pool house. You know, like it's. I think like any good movie, like it's gonna be taking shots at power, right? It's gonna be punching up a little bit, and like Cusco is such a dumbass and such like a spoiled brat, and he has like zero and again, not to reference a Disney movie that doesn't exist, but like if this were the earlier version of this movie, he would be like, yeah, I've got everything, but I want more. You know, he would have his big I want song, and he'd be thinking about like all the different ways he wants to change. This Cusco does not have that interiority.
No.
He is very happy being
He
a
is a
spoiled little
leader
shithead.
that has a kingdom that has poor infrastructure, judging by the way the bridges keep falling apart.
Oh my God, those bridges are a mess. The roads. Have either of you ever been to Peru?
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah, I got to go. It was incredible. I did the whole hike to Machu
In
Picchu.
preparation for this episode?
I did. I really go for it. You know, I really go for it on this show. So yeah, that's where I was the last 4 days, and that's what that smell is. But yeah, no, I got to do that a couple years ago, and you do get to see like the old ruins. Like sometimes you're walking downstairs for like a day at a time, and it's just like these ancient ruins that you're walking on, and it's like no big deal, you know. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty
I
cool.
really want to go.
Yeah, so do I.
And that's one of many times I've been spit on by a llama. So we should also
Speaking
mention
of
there's
the
a big,
llama, like,
we
they-
haven't even
they
mentioned the
mentioned the
llama
llamas.
element of
No,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
like this whole time. Yeah, he has turned into a llama this entire time.
I do kind of like the animation of the llama and the like, because there are a lot of body swap, like animated series, but I really do like the llama. I feel like it's a unique, like the way that he walks and talks, and like he sort of embodies this llama is just
The
fantastic.
facial expressions of the llama.
Llamas are funny looking already. Like they've got the big like underbite jaw, and they're always like chewing on something in the long neck and everything. And I also wonder if it was maybe a way for the Disney animators to kind of sidestep the racial issue of casting David Spade as this like Latino character. It's like, no, he's a llama for
Do you think they were
80%
even
of the movie.
thinking about that aspect?
That's what I wonder. I think this casting would not fly today at all. I think they were trying a little bit.
I do
back
not think they
then,
were trying.
but not with this one. Definitely not with this one. Like
This
Mulan had
This
like
would have
Chinese
been cast
actors
in like
and,
'98.
yeah, 97, 98 around then. Yeah, no, they started working on this post Lion King, so this is like 95. Yeah, it took them a long time to
Yeah.
get this one done. So yeah, I don't think they were thinking of it at all. But again, that's the sign of the long production cycle. By the end of by 2000, like they would
Well,
have been thinking about it. Yeah.
Well, it would be interesting because, like, with Mulan, they thought about it. They thought about it, but like,
Pocahontas, yeah. they did
yeah.
the same,
So I don't know what was going on. Maybe because they were trying to make it a comedy. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna excuse them.
And
for
it's also
being
they
fucked up.
don't specifically root it in any culture. It's just kind of like a
Well,
general.
I think that's why
yeah.
I'm disappointed about, like, because like in my mind, their original version sounds much more interesting and cool.
Yeah.
Because like having like, it would have been a good excuse to expose the coolness of the Incan Empire.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it would, like, there's so many different cultures in the world, there's so much different history and aesthetics, and in this movie we have a very limited aesthetic palette based on the Incan Empire.
Yeah.
And the Incan Empire has really great fucking art.
Yeah. Oh, it's
so
incredible.
like it could have been what it could have been makes me a little melancholy.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I would like to see an animated movie that kind of takes this culture seriously, because
Right.
weirdly we got another one in the year 2000 that was kind of trying to tackle this and didn't really stick the landing. another very fun movie, Road to El Dorado,
Yep.
which is much more kind of explicitly a South American culture in a way, and they do have some Latino actors in those roles, like eventually, So, yeah, it's just kind of interesting that was in the water in 2000. Yeah. But.
Yeah, I agree. I think pulling in from Inca mythology would have been very interesting, especially as it relates to, I don't know, what her poison cabinets and kind of what is she, an apothecary or what is her?
Yeah, I don't know her
She's a
role.
king's
There's like
advisor.
a wizard.
Yeah.
But she's not using like witchcraft or powers like that. She's it's like cartoon shit. She is like a mad scientist with a lab.
She has. There's a scene where she has a lab coat and her hair slicked back.
Yeah, exactly. And also great look for her, by the way. That's a really good. I think there was like a Happy Meal toy around the time. I was working at
It would be
McDonald's
a
around
great
this time.
Halloween costume.
Actually, yeah, it would not be bad. Or the one of Kronk carrying the palanquin on the back, that she's in. You can do something fun with that.
That was so fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just such a charming movie. I think it's so fun. And
this is going to be a weird side quest. But did you
please.
guys watch Planet Earth or Blue Planet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In one of them, there's a whole section based in South America where these mountain lions are hunting llamas.
Yeah,
and it is one of the most harrowing, cool, fucked up things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And just seeing these llamas run in a herd and then get picked off by these I was like, ah. And when I was watching this movie, I was like, why aren't the mountain lions? And I do think I get a little annoyed because in this movie, they have the difference between the jungles and the mountains, and when that's not exactly the geography of that area. So I just I would have. I don't know. I don't want to. It would have been bad for a children's movie to see,
right?
Because they did.
They get hunted by the jaguars at one point, but they're never a big.
And jaguars
threat.
aren't a pack animal.
No.
So
That's true.
And this is a documentary too.
Yeah,
so they really
this
they
is-
fucked
I don't
that
know,
up.
a nature documentary.
Yeah.
just think about the Jungle Book and how scary the big cats are in this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the big cats in this are scary.
No, and they're kind of like a one-off threat. And I'm going to take another side quest off your side quest. Have they made more nature documentaries since Planet Earth, or are they just oh no, we nailed it. We don't need to do this.
They've made more because they're trying to David Attenborough is my OG. And
Old guy.
Shout out.
Yeah, that's your old guy. You're not wrong.
I consider him one of the best humans.
Oh yeah.
And
He's still with us, isn't he?
he is. He's
alive.
He's still working on environmentalism and
100 years old in May.
No.
Good for
yeah,
him.
and he's still doing voice
He's
acting.
99.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. He's so he still puts out documentaries every year, but the problem is now with AI and animation, what they've started to do is to put real footage in with animated footage, and it's
Oh.
really infuriating because you're watching this and then you're like, wait a second, there's no way they would have caught that on film.
Well, because
and
'cause
then
I-
you're then you start to notice the seams and the fact that it's animated, and you're like, fuck you, I'm turning you off, documentary. I demand real footage.
Well, I mean, Disney was releasing those nature documentaries in theaters for a while. Every year on Earth Day, you would get a nature documentary, but it was just footage recut from Planet Earth and Blue Planet. They were just kind of re-editing it and putting it together. So I'm wondering if they just we got so much footage, we don't need to do nature documentaries ever again.
I think they're still doing it. I think that there's just a desire to cut corners because it's really expensive. And again,
well, look, they have a long history of that. Look up Lemmings. Look up the history of Lemmings if you want to know how fucked up Disney nature documentaries can get. Yeah, that's a fascinating story that's probably too big of a tangent for this episode. Because we should talk about the game a little bit. Do we have any final thoughts on the movie before we move on?
Well, are we
to the
going to
game?
talk about breaking the fourth wall?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, we do have to talk about that.
I mean,
yeah,
they
fun.
start off with that, right? Where he you're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And
Had that been a common?
not
not really.
for Disney movies. Like, we're and they really haven't done it too much since. Like to the point where, like, at one point he freeze frames
So,
the
like-
movie and pushes it aside.
Yeah.
It's like, why aren't you talking about me? Like, yeah,
I would say it's more of a, like, from a Looney Tunes
Yeah.
background.
very Looney
Yeah.
Tunes. Yeah,
Definitely, like, I think the satyr in Hercules might have done it once or twice.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more of a Looney Tunes thing. And definitely, like, when he breaks the fourth wall.
I guess the genie did it, but like not. Yeah, but that was just Robin
Genie
Williams.
was in.
That was Robin Williams riffing.
I don't know if Genie broke the fourth wall because Genie was a magical creature that was talking
Yeah,
to
he's
its
like
own audience.
He's sort of like, yeah, he's a trans-dimensional creature. Yeah, so it never felt like he was. Yeah, you're right. But it's a weird. I guess that's just kind of the closest thing that we got
I love
to
how
it.
we're getting into the nitty gritty of what is and isn't breaking the fourth wall. So what
Yeah.
is? So for those of you who don't know, breaking the fourth wall means talking straight out to the audience, and it's used a lot in comedy, but to varying degrees of effect.
Some people really hate it. I know that some people
Yeah.
like really can't stand when characters do that, or like same people like if you read a lot of screenwriting books, it's like, don't you ever fucking use narration, or I will climb out of this book and smack you to death. Like, you know,
That's what John Truby said.
Yeah, there are like these like old wags who kind of hold to these hard and fast rules about like narrative. I always enjoy a good fourth wall break. I don't know.
You have to use it artistically and
Yeah.
as a purpose. And, you know, in this movie, I feel like it serves to emphasize the selfishness of his character, right? And the fact that this is all from his point of view.
Yeah.
Did you? Any of you watch Fleabag?
I did watch Fleabag. I loved Fleabag. Yeah.
Fleabag's my favorite breaking of the fourth wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite.
That's a good
Like
example.
I love how it's seamless. For those of you who haven't watched Fleabag, it's on Prime. Do yourself a favor, watch it. I didn't
There's a
watch
hot
it for
priest.
years because I thought she was going to be a really annoying character, and she's such a great annoying character.
I think I had a moment for a while, like if I saw it was a BBC comedy, I'm going to assume it's like a cringe comedy. It's like, because a lot of BBC shows in particular were drafting off of The Office for like years and years and kind of doing their own version of that. And this was not that. No, it's pretty fun to watch. But yeah.
Okay. This is a tangent, but did you know, or maybe fact check me on this,
Okay.
that Pacha's wife is like one of the first animated pregnant?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, yeah. It's certainly. I can't think of another pregnant character in a Disney movie.
I can't
at
think of
this
one either.
Point. Actually, by this point in the narrative, most Disney moms are dead. So, like, it's kind of unusual. Yeah. But she is visibly pregnant on screen, and that's like kind of cool. It's like
I really
pretty.
like her character.
Yeah, I like her character too.
Very cool. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of roles for women in this movie. Unfortunately, it's just her and Yzma. But his wife is voiced by Wendy Malick, who was the
And
co-star.
the little girl.
Yeah. Oh, the little girl as well. Yeah. But Wendy Malick was also on the show Just Shoot Me with David Spade. I think that was probably the connection at that point. Another show like I watched a shitload of and is totally memory hold, and I couldn't tell you one thing
Well,
about it.
and that's
It
one
was
of the
on
things.
after school every day.
That's one of the things I like about the relationship between Pancha and his wife is that they like each other
Mm-hmm.
and they're being supportive of each other. All throughout the movie, they are a team, and it's fantastic to see because so much of marriage in comedy is vicious. So I really love to see these types of nurturing relationships in a comedy.
And they also have like kind of a less rewarding role in this movie. Like John Goodman and Wendy Malick have to be the normal human beings in a cartoon. They have to kind of like be steady and serious and act as like a counterpoint to all the shenanigans going on around them. And it's kind of a thankless role, you know.
I know everyone says straight men are the comedy term straight man.
Yeah.
Is a thankless role, but I think it's really fun to play a straight man sometimes. Like
Absolutely.
It's just really fun to be like setting it up and then having someone else knock it out of the park. Like it's just like you're just lobbing these balls and then someone else like completely kills it, and like it's just like I get a lot of rewarding feeling when I do that in comedy.
I was having the thought recently because I've been watching a lot of like Coen Brothers movies and a lot of other things. I'm like, I think I'm gonna say John Goodman is my favorite living actor.
I think it's
like
fair.
genuinely,
Wow.
I think he is
That's
my
high
favorite
praise.
actor alive because he's kind of good at everything. When he gets in a Coen Brothers movie, he like unleashes and like kind of lets the dog off the chain. But in a movie like this, he's able to like summon this kind of very reliable, sturdy warmth. You know, you just feel like he's a bear hug of a human being. And he's able to kind of do that sort of thing, like just off the dome, and he can do that whenever. And he just kind of gives your movie instant credibility, instant likability, and yeah, I think he's great in this. It's the least showy role in the entire movie, but he gets to have a lot of fun still.
When you were a kid, did you watch this movie 5,000 times?
Oh, 100%. We
Yeah.
probably had this movie playing, you know, when cars had those like DVD players. It was like on rotation.
Oh, yeah, one of those. Okay. Yeah. I could see it. I don't know if I did that. I mean, I definitely had movies that I cycled through, but I don't know if I ever did like the constant movie on a loop thing. I see a lot of kids do that
I
now
didn't
with
because I
streaming.
grew up in a big family.
Oh, yeah, you were fighting for the control.
There were 4 of us, and we would all had viciously different tastes.
Yeah.
So we would get knocked down, brawl out fights over the remote control and over whose turn it was to watch something. It was wild competitiveness.
Yeah.
But like there were shifting alliances. The girls would be like, let's watch Little Mermaid, and then the little kids, of which I was one of the little kids, would be like, let's watch Aladdin.
Oh. I mean, so you're fighting,
I was gonna say,
like
those
you're kind of
aren't
on the
too
same.
diametrically opposed.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they're
you're in the
two
same
different
ballpark.
properties.
Hey, it's more about the victory. It's more about the claiming, yeah, my candidate won. You know, yeah. You
Fair.
really want to emphasize that.
So when you were watching this as a kid, so Isma was your favorite character.
Oh, yes.
Did you like take on any of Isma's like characteristics? Did you try to like boss your siblings around?
Yeah, I'm an older sister,
Mm-hmm.
and so naturally, I, have that ingrained into my DNA. And yeah, I think, her, like you're saying, she's very drag coded. Like she
Yeah.
is a theatrical and just a flamboyant and self-assured diva. And
like a diva in the classical sense, like she's kind of doing a Gloria Swanson from Sunset Boulevard, like aging movie star kind of thing. She's got the very extreme
So
eyebrows.
she's
and
aging,
the-
but she never she never gets hit by a criticism of her age.
No,
and I
no.
think that's really important.
Yeah, exactly. She's owning her thing, and you also kind of get the sense that she's probably, because of magic or whatever, she's probably a significant amount older than she's actually presenting already. Like she's got the kind of craziness to her as well. So
I love she's just running the show.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
or just the scene where she's like smashing the broccoli.
Oh yeah.
She's like, get it over with.
Yeah.
She's the one being carried, and just run around town. Like, that's so fun.
And that's why it's nice that like she doesn't get thrown off a cliff at the end of this movie. Like
Yeah.
she has a comeuppance, but also like honestly, she was the one kind of keeping the trains on the track the
Yeah.
entire time while Kuzco was fucking around. And so like you understand why she's miffed, and she probably does deserve a little restitution.
Well, she's
for
so
the way she was
badass
treated.
because like it doesn't take her 7 years like Jafar to summon the courage to do something.
Right.
Isma's like, you fire me, fuck you. You know, like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's very proactive in that sense. We should switch over to the game just so that we're not going too late. I
Fair,
can go on
fair.
forever. Let's talk about this PlayStation 1 game called The Emperor's New Groove, which came out in 2000 for the Sony PlayStation 1 and is from Sony ImageSoft and Disney Interactive. We've covered a lot of Disney movies and a lot of their game adaptations, and almost across the board, they're pretty solid. Like, we haven't had too many that have been like a complete disaster. And I think this one is kind of one of the stronger ones, certainly of the 3D games that we played. Like, I think the 2D games are all kind of bangers. The 3D ones are a little hit or miss. Like, we played, like, Monsters, Inc. was okay. Up was okay. I think this one's really charming.
This one is very charming, and it's definitely better than the Monsters Inc. game. The Monsters Inc. game was like, I wasn't so upset at it at the time, but now that I see this, which came out before it, I'm like, Monsters Inc., what the fuck were you thinking? You bring some A game to this table.
Yeah.
But this game is varied. It's interesting. You've got a lot of stuff to do. The jumping isn't too terrible, which you know.
Which is always a sticking point, you know. So yeah, and I can never really gauge where you're at with the jumping, because you'll jump off a cliff like 800 million times and get really frustrated, and then we'll get on the episode and you're like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, did okay. I did better than usual. Yeah. Now, Ananya, you are, as they say, a whippersnapper, a
Yes.
youngin, the enemy, as I call them.
Youth aren't the enemy.
Oh,
Depends
they
who
are.
you're
They're
talking
coming for me. But this is your first exposure to a PlayStation 1 game. Is that correct?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Was it like visiting a museum? Was it like looking at ancient ancestors and wondering how they ever got by?
Yeah, I don't know what I expected when you proposed this whole, and I had no expectations. So
Yeah.
seeing it and recognizing that, oh, this is from 2000.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is not bad.
It's held up better than a lot of other PlayStation 1 games. I will say
Yeah.
that. It's definitely got those quirks of like the draw distance where it's like fog, and then the environment will just kind of like pop up out of nowhere just because the system can't render it fast enough. Like, it's clumsy in some of those regards, but I think they did a smart thing here, which is basically just rip off Spyro the Dragon, like beat for beat, and transport it into this world, which I think is a good approach. Like, those games are a lot of fun. This game has a whole lot of variety to the gameplay, which I was not really expecting. You know, like, it's mostly like a platformer. You're running around, you're hopping on stuff, you're shooting llama spit at things in the distance.
You're putting vases on pressure points.
Yeah, you
That
sure
was
are.
fun.
Doors.
I did
Yeah.
like doing that.
You got good at the vase thing.
That was
vase
the
thing.
only
Yeah.
thing I did. but
Yeah.
I got good at it.
Look, it was great. But we watched ahead a little bit because we only had a limited amount of time to play it, and like, they do like stealth sequences in this game. They do like Legend of Zelda style, like overworld, like wandering through a garden maze. They've got like snowboarding. They've got, you get to turn into other animals
Water
throughout this.
rafting.
You turn into the most horrifying looking frog I've ever
Such
seen
a
in my
scary
life.
frog.
That was horrible. That
That's
was
funny.
horrific.
It looked like a Muppet, and you like Muppets, but
I
you were
do.
scared from it.
There was just an incongruity with this character model that was freaking me out. He looked too much like a stick bug.
So thin, yeah.
Yeah, but he had like a Beatles wig going on. Like, it was
The Beatles wig, I thought was so fucking funny.
it was really funny because, like, I guess Cusco kind of has that in llama form, but not really.
No, he
Like,
definitely has it in llama form.
Yeah, but it's not as pronounced as it is when it's on a frog, I guess. Yeah,
Well, that's
so-
because frogs don't have hair. They're famously amphibious.
Touche. What did I watch recently? Oh, it was the stupid new Jurassic Park movie. There's a line in it where they just say, "Run! They're amphibious!" And that's like, okay, that's kind of worth the price of admission right there. And also, I just gave that to y'all for free. You don't need the context. You know, you're good. That's
No,
the-
I did watch that movie, but
Yeah.
I don't recall that part.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's-
watched the newer Jurassic Park movies. I just think that they're probably bad.
You're correct.
Man, well, we'll cover some of that franchise on this show, but man, did that go down like from the
It's
highest
funny.
possible high to like the absolute gutter. It's crazy.
It's funny because like I love going to like Dave and Buster's and playing Jurassic Park video games.
Oh yeah, with the big one.
They're
That you're,
the
with
big
the
ones,
guns
like
and-
you're
yeah.
driving around and you're shooting things, and like the Jurassic Park video game applicability is so good.
We'll have
but-
some good ones to play.
Yeah, so I do think even to this day they should still be making video games out
Yeah.
of Jurassic Park, even if the movies.
Good news, they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jurassic World Evolution came out like last year, I think. That's where you build your own park, and it's narrated by Jeff Goldblum, and it's a lot of fun.
What do you mean you build your own park?
You build your own Jurassic Park.
So it's like
you build and make it's like a roller coaster tycoon or whatever, or
I like that.
Sims, but for Jurassic Park.
Do you have problems that arise
Of
to the
course you do.
velociraptors escape?
They get out all the time. Yeah, you got to
Do you
get.
have legal problems where you go to
You do,
as
yeah.
you get sued?
You have like money problems. Yeah, you have to manage your finances and figure
money
out how to build
problems.
like your pens and stuff like that. So it's you would like it. You would get into it. We'll talk about it eventually. But this game is not Jurassic Park.
No, but it does have running.
You nailed it. You cracked the connection. This is the 6 degrees moment between Emperor's New Groove and Jurassic Park, and it is running. The consistent co-star between the two. But no, we were commenting from watching that like this game has cutscenes. They did not get the voice actors from the movie, but they got some kind of sound alikes. But there's more effort put into the script on this thing than I thought.
Yeah,
Like,
it's genuinely funny. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I know y'all love this movie, but I do like David Spade for me is the weak spot of the movie, and I feel
me
like
too.
the dialogue in the video game is better than the dialogue in the movie.
and
Because
he's
it's
doing the-
genuinely funny.
He's doing the fourth wall breaks in this as
Yeah,
well,
he is.
which is much less common in video games actually, and like it's kind of a fun thing to do. Like he's basically making snarky comments about how he's stuck in a tutorial during the tutorial level, which still means you're playing a tutorial level, but it's at least aware that they're putting you through this kind of rigmarole and making you do it.
Yeah, the whole narration and kind of talking to each character part is usually my least favorite in a game, but this at least attempted to make it somewhat entertaining while being true to the actual source material of the movie, which is fun.
Plus, you got to spit on children a lot, which was
It was very anti-child.
very anti-child, at least especially that one on the little bike. Yeah, that little shit. He was like always
It was
running
called
away.
a llama toy.
The llama toy, excuse me. Yeah. I guess I didn't. That's the PlayStation. I have it. I wasn't reading that as a llama bike until just now. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's.
Well, he said you broke my llama bike.
Oh, see, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah.
You were reveling. In
I know. I was writing down my Sting joke from earlier, and I just really. I was thinking about how well that would go over. I was thinking about what a pop I would get off of that. I'm still riding that high, quite honestly. Yeah.
You can tell.
I think everybody at home is too. I think they're just grooving on this now. Emperor's New Groovin'.
I think I might try to listen to the Sting songs. See if they're any good.
Me too.
Okay,
I'm
here's the
intrigued.
thing. I don't think they're gonna be because they're Sting songs.
Aw,
Sorry, no disrespect,
white
but
on white crime.
actually, it's white on white crime. It is. It's very true. No, I never. I think I just kind of associate Sting with the music that my parents made us listen to, like. Sting and Barbra Streisand would come on, and it's like, oh, it's time for the kids to leave the house.
I've completely missed Barbara Streisand.
Yeah?
Like,
I thought you were a Broadway baby.
I am.
Yeah, what
but,
happened,
like,
funny girl?
I don't know. Barbara Streisand was just before my time, and so I just never experienced Barbara Streisand. So I guess I've got my homework to do.
One of my favorite facts about Barbra Streisand is that she has a mall in her basement in real life because she likes shopping so much, but she's too famous to go shopping. So she built a mall in her basement.
What constitutes a mall?
It's like 4 or 5 little like storefronts, and it's just kind of her stuff that she puts down there. And like,
Oh.
it's basically like an elaborate closet that looks like a mall. But like she gives tours down there. I don't think she has employees down there or anything, but
It'd
maybe
be
she
great
does.
to be the employee in Barbara Streisand's basement.
I literally wrote a script about this.
Like, what if
Yeah,
what
I
if
wrote
it, what if
script
there's a
about
hot
this.
topic in
Yeah.
your basement, and you're just like trying to convince her to buy Jack Skellington socks?
This is fully making me want to go back to that script.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
revive
please
it.
explain this script.
Oh, it's just it's a Streisand style celebrity, but it's like I'm exaggerating it really largely. Like she has a very large, substantial
heightening the
working
game.
mall under her house. And there are some employees that are bored and working there when the apocalypse happens above. So now they are just trapped eternally in this celebrity mall, and the celebrity is still alive and has become adopted like a god complex and is like tormenting them. So
There's so many
nobody can do
layers
it.
to
Yeah,
this.
trademark. But yeah, so yeah, I want to work on that.
I
Some more.
don't think anyone will be recreating that idea.
I think
dare
that's a
they.
child of you.
What was? Yeah, thank
The
you.
product
Thank
of
you.
your own idiosyncratic mind.
What is the word?
Idiolect.
Idiolect. Thank you. God, now I'm the one who feels like an idiolect because I couldn't think of that word. Hey,
That's
Anyway.
not how you use the word.
I don't care. The English language is a infinite toolbox. We can use it as we want.
All words are made up at the end of the day.
Exactly. I'm making them up now. I think by that spiraling madness, I think we have reached the end of our conversation on the game here. So now it's time to rank what we were just talking about. Here's our scale. We have a scale that we make everybody do, and it's extremely rigorous and scientific.
Oh my gosh,
Is
I
this
love the
a-
scientific method.
Is this a good movie, good game, a bad movie, bad game, or some mixture in between? J-Ban, show us how it's done.
I think it's a good movie. It's not like God tier level, but it's good. It's entertaining. Like when you put it on, you're not going to turn it off. And there are things that I really like about it. Like I'm crazy about Kronk. I'm sorry I didn't talk more about how crazy I am about Kronk.
Crazy with a K.
Crazy. Like, and I find it really entertaining. And I think if you're a child, you would love this film. So I think that this is a good film. And then I think this is a really good game, especially
Hell
for the
yeah.
games that we play. This game is...
The bar is so low.
The bar is so low. It's like 4 times better or 8 times better than Monsters, Inc., the game. It's varied. It's interesting. It's got stuff going on. It's good writing. I think the levels are a little too long. Honestly, I do think like this is actually. We watched the playthrough, and it's a good 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
But I do think the levels are like you're in the village for like 5 levels.
You are. It takes a little while to get out of there, but once you do, it's nice and varied. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. All right. That's the closest we've ever come to actually adhering to the scale.
Normally we get real weird with the scale.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh,
it's
the
an
scale's not real.
okay movie, and the game is mellifluous. Yeah, man, I mispronounced that word, and I hate myself
Justin
for it.
often says it's a game.
Yeah, that's his default. We've had to try and break him of that, but I'm gonna say this is a really fun movie. I enjoy the hell out of this movie. I think you can just sort of pop it on at any time and it's going to go down pretty smooth. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't have the pretense of like a Walt Disney feature or anything like that. It's really not trying to big itself up in any way. It feels like it escaped from like a Saturday afternoon cartoon show in the best way, and I really enjoy it. And yeah, I thought this game was kind of a surprise delight. Like it was very... It's not a game I played before.
Can I
but
steal
was
that
feeling
from
very
you? I think it's
nostalgic.
better than saying good.
You want to say surprise delight?
I know. I'm gonna not surprise.
Oh, okay.
It was a delight.
Delight. You can have it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There you go. Well, now I need a new word. It was a surprise.
Well, you're a writer.
Ah.
You are a writer.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I had a really good time with this game. It did remind me of like old competent PS1 platformers. There were a lot of very bad ones, and this one is emulating one of the good ones. So I appreciated that. I had a great time. Ananya, how about you? Where do you come down?
Well, I clearly think this movie is great.
Well, obviously you wouldn't be here.
Obviously, I
otherwise.
chose this movie.
Would be a weird move if you're like, I want to come on the show and fucking
and
bash
just-
this movie.
This is my platform to speak on this.
Which is fair. I would do that. Yeah.
I love this movie. I think it's so unique, and like you're saying, it doesn't, get wrapped up in itself and take itself too seriously, which is one of the more joyous elements of it. And the comedy, I think, is still fresh to this modern day. Like people still say "pull the lever." Kronk,
I think
wrong
Justin
lever.
ended the last episode by saying "pull the lever, Kronk." Yeah.
So it's in the vernacular.
I think that one missed my vernacular, but that's the enemy thing again. Yeah.
And the rye, Cusco's poison, the poison. Like that's so funny.
That's a good bit.
You know
That's a
what?
good
Something
bit.
I've realized recently that I missed what the hell a scene girl was.
Oh yeah, I realized that too. Somebody was trying to describe to me what it meant to be a scene kid, and I'm like, what is that? Like, yeah, apparently that's like just emo.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
goth,
Yeah,
hybrid, maybe.
Yeah. I'm
We
with
were
you.
too busy being 20s.
Yeah.
Some things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
In terms of the game, I mean, yeah, I have no comparison point. Like,
Yeah, you're not a gamer.
I'm not a
like-
gamer.
like,
The
yeah.
only game I've played is like The Sims, if you count that.
That counts.
Oh,
Totally counts.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely a game.
But it was fun. Like when I had the controller, I was jumping and
You were getting the hang of
smashing
it.
the vases, so I'll take that as a win.
That's a win. That's a win.
And I liked, when we watched the run through of it, like the different sceneries and the different, like the diverse settings that the characters are in and how they
Yeah.
incorporate different characters from the movie, which is fun. So, I had no expectations for the game, and I was pleasantly surprised.
There we go. I love it. I always get in trouble when I say I'm going to like finish out a game that we've been playing, but I'm like, I might actually keep playing this one. I was having a really good time.
I don't believe you.
I can like totally like
Me neither.
catch up on podcasts or something while I'm
believe
playing
you. I just
this.
think that with your attention, like
I'm definitely multi-screening this, or like I'm doing music or watching TV on something else. Like I'm definitely multi-screening it. My ADHD would not let me just sit and play.
Do you have
this game.
ADHD?
Oh my god,
Diagnosed?
I have all of it.
Wow.
all
Wait,
of it.
The hyperactive and the
I took it from other
inattentive?
people and added it to mine like a magpie.
Are you on medication?
I'm on so many medications.
For
Yeah.
ADHD?
No, they
Oh.
won't give me. I can't afford that
They
one.
won't give me that.
Yeah, no. I self-medicate. It's a whole thing I do.
No.
No, I don't. I'm joking, everybody.
It's okay. You can do that.
Medical professional is signing
No,
off
this
on
is not medical advice.
No. Well, Ananya, thank you so much for being here. This was a delight to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Your first podcast ever, and you crushed it.
Oh my God.
I'm very excited for you.
I hope the listeners think so too.
If so we're coming out with this the last Friday of November. Do you have any shows, anything people should be checking out if they're in the Austin area?
Yes, come check out Y'all We Asian for Austin and Texas's first all Asian improv troupe. We perform at the Fallout Theater every first Friday of the month. And so our next show is December 6th.
Yes.
And so at 8:30. And then Father Figures. I don't think we have any upcoming shows in December, but follow us on our social media, Father Figures Improv. And I myself am notoriously off the grid, so don't follow me personally.
Oh, I'm getting so far off the grid. It's delightful. Like it's the right way to go. Yes, but if you're in the Austin area and you haven't checked out either of those troops, they are amazing. They're so funny. And I say that often, but I mean it very rarely.
Well, do you mean it this time?
Well, you'll never know. I'm sneaky and mysterious. But thank you so much for being here. And shout out to Justin. We kind of hand waved it off earlier. He was not able to make it tonight. He is still a part of the show. Don't worry.
Oh,
We did not kick him off. We're just having a late night recording. He couldn't make it. He will be back for the next
it
episode.
is very late.
It is
on a
late-
Monday night.
We're recording late on a Monday, but it was worth it. And be sure to tune in next week, because next week we are kicking off an entire month of holiday-themed video games and movies. That's right. We have enough to fill another month, and only 2 of them have Jim Carrey in it. But
What?
one of
Is
them...
there a Grinch one?
There's a Grinch one. That's going to be one of them. But the one that we're talking about next week is going to be kind of bridging the gap between the seasons a little bit, because we're talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas. Half Halloween movie, half Christmas movie. Little bit of Thanksgiving, I guess. Some Easter in there. There's a little bit of everything in that movie. And it's a delight, and I'm excited to talk about it. So join us next week for A Nightmare Before Christmas, and we will see you next time. Pull the lever, Kronk.